This is either going to be a really quick podcast because there's only 6 matches, or we're just going to get into some shit involving WWE because by their standards, Tomas, we were just talking about this. WrestleMania Backlash 2022 is a good show on wrestling standards, but
by WWE standards, this was actually a really solid pay-per-view, and I am very happily surprised.
Yeah.
I was going into this pay-per-view with like little to no expectations. And I was listening to a podcast to get ready for this review, and I think it said it best. It's always better to undersell and overperform. And I feel like with these smaller throwaway pay-per-views, WWE tends to do that because just looking at this card, I really wasn't expecting much of this. The world title's not even on the line. We had
only one title
on
match
the line tonight. One title.
Yep. And the rest of it, yeah. 3 WrestleMania rematches, didn't we? Like,
there were supposed to be 3 titles on the line tonight, but Raw had a dipshit moment with Bianca Belair, and they decided the Raw in Tennessee was more important than this pay-per-view. We had a tag team unification match, but I guess Vince changed his mind as he always does, and that became a 6-man tag team match with 2 champions, 3 champions in that match, and no titles on the line. I thought they might tap into their inner Backlash 2009 and put the title on the line in a 6-man title match, 6-man tag match, but that would have been a little too what's the one looking for? Fun. Yeah. And we know we don't like to have fun in WWE. No siree.
Vince does not care about you. He just wants to get his superstar and Roman Reigns over. And we'll certainly get into the problem with that inherent. So smash that subscribe button if you're new, and hit that like button as well if you enjoy all this nonsense we're about to get into here with WrestleMania Backlash. But the thing that I'm noticing a lot with these WWE pay-per-views, there's 6 matches on this show, and this show easily could have been an hour and a half. But they just had to fill in so much time with video package after video package after promos for people who weren't even on the card, like Bianca Belair. Video package everywhere. And I'm like,
we're going to get to that,
the wrestling matches?
I actually learned a thing today, and it might actually explain. It'll explain why those random things are there, but I'm going to go into a little rant of my own of why I don't agree with why they're there. I learned myself a thing today. But anywho, once again, I think WWE just doesn't like pre-matches. There were no pre-matches on the show. I was in your backyard this weekend for this pay-per-view, and we went on our Sunday walk as we always do. And I was asked, when does the pay-per-view start? And I go, pre-show at 4, but honestly, I'm not expecting a pre-match. And I was right. No pre-match on the show.
No Theory, no Miz, no Finn Balor.
No Mustafa Ali, who made his return a couple weeks ago.
No Kevin Owens.
Ciampa, no Kevin Owens. No Shinsuke Nakamura. No Ricochet. That's the 13th pay-per-view in a row. The Intercontinental title is not being defended. Pre-show or main card.
Nobody gives a fuck about the Intercontinental Championship. Yeah.
Yeah, tell that to Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels and The Rock and Triple H and Cody Rhodes. Yeah, tell them the Intercontinental title doesn't matter.
Speaking of Cody,
that was a perfect segue. Perfect segue into this opening match. I did not think this was going to open the show, but we get a WrestleMania rematch between Cody Rhodes and Seth freaking Rollins. Saw a lot of people joking that this is WrestleMania Backlash so bad that Rollins recycled his WrestleMania gear going into this match that I did not notice until it was brought up.
What is Seth Rollins' gimmick now? Like,
he's the visionary.
He was the visionary a year ago. I don't even know what he is anymore. Like, he doesn't come out with like disciples. All his disciples have been released, and the disciples that are still on the roster are the United States champion.
He's not a beast slayer.
No.
He's not a Messiah. He's not a beast slayer. He's
freaking
the visionary.
He's freaking.
Seth Rollins, and
as
knock
Big
on wood,
would
God forbid Seth Rollins ever gets released. He will go on the indies and he will go back to being Seth fucking Rollins. I guarantee you that.
No, he'll go back to being Tyler Black, you know? Like,
Tyler fucking Black. I'll take it. I would love to see him show up in GCW as Tyler fucking Black.
Yeah, that'd be interesting for sure. But
Anywho, he's
Cody
taking
Rhodes,
on the American Night. Yeah, taking on the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. The
the
first thing I want to
American
point out
Nightmare.
is that there was a fan that looked like he was in his 30s, and he was begging for Cody Rhodes' weight belt. And I thought it was so classy that Cody Rhodes turned around and he gave the man the belt. It was like, you want it so bad? Here you go, my friend. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. Cody's good for all ages, why he's going to be probably the next face of the company coming up here. We'll get to that.
He's only been back
we'll
for a month. And yeah, there was a basketball game I saw, and they showed a promo for Raw and SmackDown. And Roman Reigns was the face of SmackDown, and Cody Rhodes was the face of Raw. This man has not even been back for a month, and he is already being billed as Raw's #1 star. That is crazy.
Top babyface. Never thought, AEW fans were getting annoyed by him as the top babyface over there, so not so much over here. Not so much over here.
Fans might do the same thing, but this match was excellent. This was same on par as their WrestleMania match. I loved every single moment of this match. Okay, here's the thing. The suspense of whether Cody Rhodes was coming back or not is gone. The grand stage of WrestleMania is not there. These guys were clicking so well in this match.
Yeah,
I may even say I think they clicked better in this match than they did in the WrestleMania match.
I think the story that they told in the WrestleMania match is just absolutely perfect. This one was, the thing I liked about this match is it was different. It wasn't exactly copy pasta. You know what I mean?
No, absolutely not.
The whole gimmick, basically, ironically speaking, is that Seth Rollins is ready for Cody Rhodes this time. He basically kept saying in promos, Cody, you had an unfair advantage, okay? So you're going to go fight an opponent of my choosing.
And
okay.
My favorite thing about this match was constantly throughout the match, Rollins kept going, Mr. Nightmare, come on, Mr. Nightmare. Just totally egging Rhodes on throughout this entire match. And
Tomas, come on, let's have a Seth Rollins off.
Oh, man. But this match was excellent from start to finish. Yeah, I love this match.
It was so great. I love the early goings of the match where Cody goes for the patented Rhodes drop down and punch. Rollins catches it. And I'm like, damn, Rollins is ready. They're really telling this story. Then they're selling it really, really well.
Cody showing a lot of tribute to his older brother Dustin in this match, not just using that move, but going for that patented snap power slam that Dustin made famous and is still using in AEW.
And he did.
And Rollins has an early counter for that as well.
Yeah, he ended up hitting the power slam. He hits the Cody cutter, jumping off the ropes. This crowd, of course, no shit, this was one of the best matches on the show because this was the opener, so the crowd was going to be super hot. Cody Rhodes and Seth Rollins were both in the ring. They're both heavy main event talents on Monday Night Raw, so of course it's going to be one of the best matches on the show, if not the best match. It's a competition between two of them. We'll get to the other one in a bit. But
And even when they botched a spot, I thought Rollins saved it beautifully because he went up for a superplex, and there was a moment where there was a little bit of a miscommunication there. But I think Rollins recovered perfectly, nailed that superplex into a Falcon Arrow as the other does. And I swear, there is some offense I could see Rollins do every single match, and I never get tired of it. And that sequence is absolutely beautiful. Rhodes showing off his strength as well, doing a stalling gourd buster, which I never realized how strong Cody Rhodes was until he performed that feat of strength on Rollins.
Man, I want Cody Rhodes to hit this fucking pedigree so bad. Seth has hit it not once but twice in both of these matches they've had so far. I feel like once they wrap up this feud, because we'll get into the finish, I feel like there's another rubber match incoming. If we can call it a rubber match, really, because Cody's won both of them. But I fucking want Cody to hit that pedigree, man. The pop he's gonna get is gonna be insane.
My biggest critique of this match, believe it or not, is I think they went to the outside a little one too many times. And I feel like when you go to the outside of the ring, it's kind of a pace breaker. And if you want to do it, then maybe once, maybe twice. But there was a point where it was near the climax of the match, and they were still they would do a sequence of moves, and then all of a sudden Rollins ends up on the outside of the ring. And I'm just like, okay, guys, we can't spend too much time out of there. Rhodes does go for a beautiful He runs up to the top rope and he tries to go for a springboard crossbody. He misses, and I could feel that in the knee so bad.
Man, his back hit the fucking barricade, and oh my God, that sounded so painful. I know Cody, and Cody has said in interviews that he never wants to turn heel ever again. And his reasoning is basically, listen, I have a little kid at home. I've been a heel most of my career. I got to preserve my body, which is totally understandable. Like, thinking about it in hindsight, we were complaining a lot about it a year ago on this very podcast, if you guys remember. Cody Rhodes versus a twerp at Double or Nothing. Yeah, yeah, I forgot he was on the roster still. But,
So, the way I'm going to combat that now, and if 2021 me heard me saying this, he's probably tried to strangle me. Cody is a little more justified here in WWE because he's a lot more seasoned veteran right now. His booking can be a little more reserved. But what do you have more in AEW? You have like those bloodthirsty professional wrestling fans that don't receive a baby face like Cody Rhodes that well. I don't want to compare it to like an ECW crowd, but it's just a different type of atmosphere when you're in AEW. Look at the baby faces that are.
It's literally a mid-90s WCW crowd almost, before the big stars like Hogan came into the mix, before the big guys like Hall and Nash came in and ruined everything.
Look at your atmosphere in AEW compared to WWE. Believe it, okay, as much as people are not going to like what I'm about to say, in the WWE is a family-oriented crowd.
Yep.
You have your little kids there. You have your little girls dressing up like Bianca Belair and that worship her as her hero. You have little kids that worship Cody Rhodes. I made the comparison of Cody Rhodes is transforming into a John Cena. And I think in the WWE environment, he's going to flourish a lot better as this character, as opposed to being AEW where you have your Kenny Omegas, your Hangman Adam Pages, your CM Punks, your MJFs, where that atmosphere is a little more grittier.
Mm-hmm. Oh, totally. You have Punk and Danielson and Hangman, in there, and they're cult favorites. And
even though Danielson was a crowd favorite in WWE, even though Danielson was beloved by children, it's weird. If you just compare Rhodes to WWE and AEW, I'm sorry, I think he fits better in a WWE environment.
He does. And I'm not going to disagree with that at all. I think he made the right choice at the right time of his career. And he even said in interviews he needs to make a lot of money for this precious little girl that he and Brandy just had about a year ago. So
and that's another thing, Brandy. I make the comparison to Rebby when Matt and Jeff returned to the WWE. Brandy doesn't have to lift a finger anymore. Brandy gets to stay at home with the kids. She's not an executive producer like she was in AEW. She doesn't have to worry about leading a faction. And God forbid, love Brandy to death. She doesn't have to get in the ring.
She doesn't have to be a ring announcer either. So
look at Rebby when Matt and Jeff were in WWE. Brandy, I almost called her Eden when you said that. Brandy doesn't need to lift a finger. She can stay home. Sure, she can make appearances. She can be like a Maurice. Mm-hmm. I do think that, totally off topic, I think WWE kind of missed their mark with the Miz feud. But again, I think Rhodes is going to flourish better in this environment. And right now, the crowd loves him. Again,
I love him.
6 months down the line.
I love him. I bought his shirt. Some of you have been watching my reviews. Like, you've seen me wear the Cody Rhodes shirt. So
I don't want to be the negative guy, but 6 months down the line, who knows? Maybe the crowd will turn on him. But right now, as we speak,
I hope not.
Rhodes is flourishing well. And as long as he can keep himself fresh and keep this gimmick of, here's the thing, I don't want Cody Rhodes to win the title anytime soon. This needs to be a journey for him.
Oh, yeah. It needs to be a chase, for sure. He can't win it, next month at Hell in a Cell.
No.
I would think SummerSlam would be pushing it a bit, but I can understand if WWE wants to give him the belt at SummerSlam. But
only if it's taking one of those titles off of Reigns. That's the only way I'll accept
Just
that.
one.
But
Split
it needs
the belts, please.
We'll get to that later, but anywho, that was
match.
My big thing about Cody Rhodes. I wanted to do this match. This match was excellent. Cody Rhodes teased the vertebraker, which I did not think he was going to be able to get to do in WWE.
Hold up. He didn't hit the pedigree and he didn't hit the vertebraker either. Is he turning heel on us now? Or is he saving those moves for a better show? Because I love the vertebraker to pieces. It's like
Rhodes in the vertebraker was like when Styles came in and he wasn't using the Styles Clash, and it's like when Samoa Joe came in and he wasn't using the Muscle Buster. They're teasing it, and we're gonna get it, but just not right now.
I hope so. I hope so. We'll get to AJ in a minute, but yeah, excellent match. I mean, the finish, I love parts of the finish, but then the actual finish I didn't really like necessarily, and I'll explain why. But Seth Rollins starts pulling out the Dusty Rhodes Bionic Elbow to mock Cody Rhodes, and I'm like, oh my God, you son of a bitch. You son of a bitch. You're pulling out the shucking and jiving. There's a great transition into a backslide. Rollins tries to use the tights. Rhodes rolls him back up, and Rhodes, the babyface, uses the tights. Notice how I use this babyface. Notice how I use that term, and he's cheating to beat Seth Rollins.
But Rollins literally just did that.
He did.
He literally just tried to cheat. In my opinion, this was eye for an eye. Not that kind of eye for an eye.
All's fair in blood and war. All's fair.
I feel like,
yeah, I was going to say, all's fair in blood and war, or in this case, the only place that this war can be settled is in bloody war games.
I fucking wish. I fucking wish. Anywho, Rhodes wins the match surprisingly. I did not think Cody Rhodes was going to pick up the second win.
No, he should not be losing.
About 50-50 booking. Anyone who's complaining about 50-50 booking, it didn't happen tonight.
Cody should not be in any danger of losing until him and Roman come face to face. It shouldn't be happening because Cody keeps saying how important wins are. You know, so he needs to be freaking unstoppable until he's the number one contender to the title. So,
and this is just the beginning. I love this match. I'm going to give the nod to the WrestleMania match just because of the surprise. But this match was just as excellent. I'm going to give it 4 stars.
I'm going 4.5. I love this. I love this match. I think
think that extra half of a star went from the shock factor in the moment to WrestleMania. You know what? I'm going to meet you sort of halfway. I'm going to meet you halfway. I'll give it 4.25.
All right.
This match was excellent.
Yeah,
and I loved every single minute of it. I think these guys vastly improved from the WrestleMania match, and that was already a masterpiece. Take away the wow factor of Rhodes returning, and you have a properly built feud between Rhodes and Rollins, and this was excellent.
Oh, it was so good. So good. I mean, I could watch these two wrestle each other every day of the week, but I don't think that's going to be the case. The feud looks like it's going to be wrapping up next month at Hell in a Cell, but we shall see. So we go from an excellent match to a match that I was not excited for in the slightest. It's another WrestleMania rematch in Bobby Lashley versus Omas, who has the newly turned heel MVP. Bobby Lashley is a white meat babyface. He comes out on a pedestal, and he is, you know, just doing the things of the Almighty theme. Go ahead.
I'll be honest with you, man. When MVP turned on Lashley, that broke my heart.
It did.
That broke my heart. It was the only thing from the night after Mania that I was genuinely shocked by.
If the Hurt Business wasn't dead already, you know? My word. Why do you break up the Hurt Business as early as you do?
2 years with MVP and Lashley together, MVP did exactly what he needed to do with Lashley, and for the first time since 2019, Lashley is truly ready to be on his own.
Yeah.
So MVP went from being a one-night surprise return in the Royal Rumble to honestly making his way to being one of the best managers in professional wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah. Too bad he has one excellent wrestling client rather than his current one, who kind of sucks right now. But
no, here's the thing. Now it's MVP's turn to help a wrestler that really needs it.
Yeah.
I think this was an excellent move, pairing MVP up with Omas.
Yeah. Well, AJ Styles couldn't really help Omas a year ago. He hasn't really.
But now MVP has. Omas has an excellent mouthpiece now.
He does. Omas has a great physical presence. He roars, he's scary, he looks imposing, and he's got swagger. AJ Styles gave him that swagger. I just wish some of that wrestling skill passed on to him, unfortunately. And
now, let me tell you this right now. This match was better than it had any right being.
You think I hated this match? I actually found it acceptable. I think that was.
I don't even go as far as saying it was good.
No, this match was too long.
It was good. Considering what it was given. I will give you that. It was a little longer than it needed to be, but the story that Lashley and Omos were telling in this match, just like their WrestleMania match, was only vastly improved. Lashley worked him. Lashley made Omos work.
9 goddamn minutes. It's a 9-minute match that should have gone 5.
I was gonna say you easily could have knocked off a couple minutes from this match.
You could have.
But Lashley made Omos work.
You could have added
still
a stipulation.
Flabbergasted.
Yeah,
I am still flabbergasted how Omos dwarfs Lashley in this match.
Yeah.
Lashley is not a small man.
He's not a small man, and honestly, so this person I'm talking to now, just newly, they made a comment on this show that I just can't get out of my head anymore, and I can't believe I didn't see it sooner. They said that Lashley looks like a roided up Wayne Brady, and I'm like, my word.
You're never going to look at it the same way.
No, I'm not going to be able to unsee that. So thank you if you're watching. So Omas is throwing out Kevin Nash big man style offense, and Kevin Nash is like gloating about how he's helping Omas. Like, you can't gloat about it now when he's not that good. Like, just wait until he's
Kevin
more
Nash
ready.
Backstage working with Omas? Because if he's not, he has no right to say that.
I know.
Just kind of a pretentious thing for Nash to say.
Don't teach him how to tear his quads or anything like that, please. But I should go easy on him. But so Lashley is going for the Hurt Lock or the full Lashley. MVP is constantly running interference in this match. That's honestly, I did not like the match at WrestleMania, but I feel like that's something that this match didn't have. If that makes sense. I don't know where I'm going with this, but basically
he needed that extra factor of MVP.
The Mania match had the edge in, like, okay, there's not too much interference here. I feel like that got a little bit too overbearing. But
if you're going to protect Omos, having a cheating heel manager like MVP is the best way to go.
Okay, fair. Or a stipulation, like a cage match. Apparently they're going to be doing a cage match soon, to my knowledge. They're also like,
I hope it stays on Raw. I don't want to see this go to another pay-per-view.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's Hell in a Cell. You can't do a cage match at Hell in a Cell just because of logistics. So, but basically, it's your typical Omos match. This is a better Omos match than I'm used to. Lashley is.
I'm hearing people say it's the best one-on-one match he's had.
Which is, not saying a ton, but he's got a long way to go. Lashley's wrestling circles around him, and MVP hits Lashley in the face with the cane that he carries around.
Before we get to the finish, can we talk about the amazing feats of strength that Lashley pulled off on this match? Not only putting the full Nelson on Omos, but performing a spine buster on him as well.
Performing a spine buster, but then this is where I have my first issue with the commentators tonight. Jimmy Smith, who I usually love, Lashley is going for his vertical suplex, which used to be his finisher at one point or another. Don't forget, Lashley's sisters. But basically, he goes for a vertical suplex, and Jimmy Smith is like, no, this is impossible. He can't do it. And I'm like, didn't the motherfucker just scoop slam him at WrestleMania? Like, of course it wouldn't be, like, impossible. He could do it.
Lashley's lifted him. I do think Lashley could do it.
Man,
but like you say, the referee the interference from MVP was enough for Omos to hit the Omos bomb, and Omos gets the win, and this is a huge victory for him.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, I think Omos can only get better from here.
He can.
I'm going to steal another quote from the podcast I was watching. Omos is what WWE wishes the Great Khali was.
Yes. Yeah, Omos is better than the Great Khali for sure. I can give him that much. I'm just saying it now because his matches are not very good, and he's being put into a big spotlight, and he just hasn't delivered yet for me. And I'm sitting here like, man, they released Braun Strowman in the Big Show for this guy, the Nigerian Giant, as he's announced.
He can only get better.
He can.
I give this match 2.25. It was vastly improved from WrestleMania.
It was a better match than Mania. I'm willing to give it a 2. That's as high as I'll go, though. But again, I feel like I agree. Omos can only get better from here. So
before we get into this next match, I actually wanted to bring this up before this match, the Lashley match. There was a random Lashley video package, and here we go again.
That's what I'm saying.
We've been getting random video packages of Lashley and Sasha Banks and Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar, and I'm sitting here thinking, why? I found out why today.
What's that?
Me and you have the ad-free version of Peacock. This is what they're showing us while they're showing everybody else ads.
Oh my God.
So instead of a commercial for car insurance or Mountain Dew or Little Caesars Pizza, we're getting a random video package. Now, let me tell you this. Is that any better?
No.
Is that any better?
No.
You know what I use those video packages for? To go take a piss.
Yep.
I use those video packages to check Pokemon Go on my phone.
Oh my
I use
God.
those video packages to order pizza.
That's a video.
I use those video packages to check my Facebook.
That's totally fair.
I am not looking at the screen during these video packages. Now, here's the thing, WWE. If you want an incentive for people to pay for the more expensive version of Peacock to not get ads, don't show us video packages. Show us exclusive interviews with the winners of the matches. Show us stuff that you cannot see. Here's the thing. What if, for example, let's pretend that you have the ad version of Peacock and you said you were watching ads and it say, oh, you saw an ad? I saw an exclusive interview with Lashley. I saw an exclusive interview with Cody Rhodes. Wouldn't that make you want to spend the extra $5 to get that ad-free Peacock?
It would. No. Extra content, but
no. You wouldn't give a fuck if I said I saw a video package for Bianca Belair.
No, I wouldn't give a fuck at all. So
that's my rant on that.
Give them the incentive to get the ad-free version, Nick Khan. Not to name names or anything.
Moving on with this pay-per-view is another WrestleMania rematch. It's Edge versus AJ Styles, part 2.
Hold up. Edge representing Judgment Day. Let's not forget that. And I had no idea that they had given the stable a name because I haven't. Admittedly, I haven't been watching Raw every week like Tomas has, and I just haven't.
It's okay. I haven't been watching SmackDown every week.
yeah, which is okay. So Mike Rome, my homie, announces Edge representing Judgment Day, and I'm like, that's fucking awesome. He gave his stable a name that used to be a pay-per-view when we were growing up, and it's literally one of the best Edge pay-per-view posters of all time for Judgment Day 2009 with the scale. And they're hearkening back to that. It's so cool.
Also, I don't want to spoil Moon Knight for everybody, but that was just the scale of justice that Edge had.
Edge is just Ethan Hawke confirmed. But
basically.
AJ Styles comes out favoring the shoulder after the attack that Edge and his muscle Damian Priest initiated on him in the locker room.
Oh, speaking of Damian Priest, we have the completely useless stipulation of that Damian Priest is banned from ringside. More on that later.
That's why this match annoyed me so much. You want to just skip to that, or do you want to just talk about the positives?
No, I want to talk about the positives first, but I know I said the opposite last night, but this was almost copy and paste from the WrestleMania match, which was a good match.
It was.
But unlike Rhodes and Rollins, they really didn't bring anything different from the table besides some good aerial offense from Styles.
Which is disappointing. AJ Styles hit an Asai moonsault off the second rope, and I'm like, damn, I love AJ Styles so much. Admittedly, I kind of have a man crush on him, so he's just
it's okay. Good. He's my favorite wrestler for a reason.
Yeah.
Other than that, they told the story of Styles' injured shoulder. We got a nice calf killer sequence where Edge did the Brock Lesnar spot and slammed Styles' head into the mat.
Thank you for calling it the calf killer, by the way.
It's muscle memory at this point.
Yeah.
But here, it was a fantastic match. But if you saw the match at WrestleMania, you really have no reason to watch this match again unless you really like these two. And I really like these two.
Exactly the same. Yeah, I do too. Calf crusher. Edge was going for the crippler crossface, which is a little bit too soon. But now we get to AJ Styles hits Edge with the Styles Clash as well, which I'm still amazed that Edge is as courageous as he is to take that move after everything he's been through with his neck being a stack of dimes, son. But basically, you get to the big annoyance of the match, and Damian Priest is out in the arena, and he's standing behind the taped line in the arena floor in the entranceway, and he's like, "Oh, I'm not at ringside." I'm like, motherfucker, like the announcers, even like the announcers who are stupid in general, they were like, oh, it's semantics. He's not at ring side. He's in the entryway. And I'm like, oh, well, fuck you. What's the use of this stipulation then? Like,
ring side, ring area. I swear,
he
they
was
need to
there.
put the stipulation of, if you come out to the ring, you are suspended. If you come out to the ring, you won't be able to challenge for a title for an entire year. If you come out to the ring, you're going to pay a $500,000 fine. Something that's going to guarantee. Mr. McMahon used to do that all the time. If anyone comes out to the ring during this match, I will suspend them indefinitely. Threaten them. Come on, Adam Pearce. You're the boss here.
Adam Pearce did not do a damn thing. So,
but AJ Styles' Bullet Club buddy, Finn Balor, comes out to save the day, And
gotta love that.
Balor was able to stabilize Priest, but once again, AJ Styles has the attention span of a cat. He goes up for the phenomenal forearm, and he gets shoved off by a hooded figure who's wearing some very familiar tights. And I knew exactly where this was going.
And the
Edge
rumors
locks on the crossface once again, and Styles does not tap out, but he passes out. Edge wins again. Another no 50-50 booking here.
Fuck you, WWE. Hold on. Can I just say, AJ Styles has not won on pay-per-view since Money in the Bank. This is AJ Styles we're talking about here. Give the motherfucker some wins, please. Edge did not need to win this match. I'm sorry, he didn't. Absolutely didn't.
You know what? This match is actually going to get pegged down from WrestleMania. I'm going to give it 3 3/4 because the match was excellent. The wrestling was excellent, but the booking continues to make Styles look like a geek.
3.5. I hated this finish just for that reason. So
at
annoying.
least WrestleMania had the grand entrance. At least WrestleMania had the wow factor of this was the first time these guys wrestled.
Yeah.
This match just seemed right here to further Judgment Day's agenda, which we will get into. Drum roll, please. Who was under the hood?
Rhea Ripley. Exactly who I expected to be there, because Rhea Ripley just turned heel on her friend Liv Morgan not too long ago. The writing was on the wall. The rumors, I had heard the rumors rumbling about that it was going to be Rhea Ripley, and I was like, perfect. A woman
Rhea
fitting
Ripley
into Edge's stable.
Beautiful new jet black hair. I have a crush on Rhea Ripley.
She went Harry Potter Snape on her ass, dyeing her hair black.
It was so
like that.
fucking cool. This was a perfect move, and this was probably the bright spot of the finish of this match.
It was.
Edge's Judgment Day is growing, and this was cool.
What
happens next? You throw Edge and Styles in the cell.
Yeah.
That honestly is the only other way this goes.
And if that happens, keep Judgment Day outside the cell and fucking have AJ beat Edge, please. Like,
you're not going to like what I say next. You kind of kill Judgment Day's
No, you
momentum.
don't. No, you don't. It's
wins.
Edge. It's Edge. He does not need wins. AJ Styles needs wins.
And a brand new gimmick they're trying to get over, though.
I'm aware of that.
You know damn well there's a multi-man and woman war coming up with this match because Finn Balor is coming to back up Styles. Who did Rhea Ripley turn on? Liv Morgan. It's only a matter of time until she gets her hands dirty in this.
Liv teaming with the Bullet Club geeks in bloody war games. Could you imagine?
Don't tease me. But let's see what happens next. The plot thickens. Now the next rumor is Tommaso Ciampa might join the group.
Give him a workhorse.
See what happens there.
Give him a workhorse. And if FTR were still in the company, you know that Edge would be chomping at the bit to have FTR in his stable there. But who knows?
Don't rule out that. Don't rule that out.
No, don't rule that out.
Contracts are coming up. Contracts are coming up. WWE has reached out to them. They said they wouldn't be opposed to it. Because at the end of the day, what does Mr. McMahon say? It's all about the money.
It's all
Mr. McMahon and
everybody's
said that.
Everybody's got a price. Yeah, we're just this is the impression podcast now. We're doing William Regal, Ted DiBiase everywhere, you know. I equal ratings. But anyway, no more Edge talk right now, even though I love the man. let's talk about Charlotte Flair versus Ronda Rousey in an I Quit match, and the only title match on the show. Charlotte defending the SmackDown Women's title. Now, this is the
was this match good?
Oh my God, this is the match they should have
Where
had
the
at
hell
WrestleMania.
was this during WrestleMania?
Oh my, it was so good. Absolutely.
Was Ronda Rousey not feeling well that day? Was she like, I don't know, did she have a tummy ache? Did she not eat breakfast that morning? Did she?
What?
I don't know.
Where are you going with this?
No, I'm just saying. This is the Ronda Rousey I remember from 2018 and 2019. I don't know who the hell that was at WrestleMania, but that was not Ronda Rousey. She fucking delivered tonight.
Well, because she was pissed off that she wasn't main eventing and she wasn't winning the title. That's the Ronda Rousey that showed up there.
You're right. She probably didn't eat breakfast that morning.
Probably not, but I just love the fact that this I Quit match like brought the microphone in, like all I Quit matches do that.
That's the only way. That's the only way an I Quit match should be.
It's so funny.
None of this. Oh, we'll just say it and take the referee's word for it. The crowds are back. Bring back the fucking microphone.
I would hate to be in attendance for this I Quit match, though, just because of the shrill screams that you sometimes got. Charlotte upside down in that armbar on the outside of the ring. Just the bloody murder she's screaming over the PA system. It's just, blood curdling. She's not screaming. She's not screaming "I quit" in the other languages that Pat McAfee was saying on commentary, which is so.
Okay,
geeky.
so Pat McAfee was on something tonight because his commentary was fucking hilarious during this match.
What the hell?
So the match really starts picking up when they spill to the outside and Ronda Rousey pulls out a kendo stick. Charlotte Flair runs away and she grabs 2 kendo sticks of her own. But Rousey is able to retaliate and grab the 2 kendo sticks. She starts beating the hell out of Charlotte Flair. And Pat McAfee says, "May the force be with you."
Oh my God. No,
and
see, I was
cursed.
Hold on.
He would have said, "May the force be with you, motherfucker."
See, I was thinking Kill Bill when Ronda Rousey came out with those stupid kendo sticks and she held it up like this, just like Uma Thurman did. Like, that was all that was on my mind, and I was thinking like, oh, okay, we'll have a Kill Bill music in the background of this. This is fine. This is okay. But
you know what? Pat McAfee could cuss. He would say, "May the force be with you, motherfucker."
Yeah. Well, that was all the kendo sticks were a callback to their excellent brawl from Survivor Series 2018, where Charlotte replaced Becky Lynch and started all this nonsense between these two. But I can sit here and argue that this is their best match. Absolutely their best match. I had the most fun watching this match. It was exciting. The 2 ladies were, hurling insults at each other. I love, like, Charlotte at the very beginning shoves Ronda Rousey down, like, with just a move. It's like a transition move. And then Charlotte's like, "Ask her." Like, not even a minute into the match. And then Ronda with a response, "No." Like, is that all you got, bitch?
So here's the thing. I saw a tweet the day before this pay-per-view that said Ronda Rousey and Charlotte Flair is the worst thing in wrestling right now.
No.
And honestly, up to this point, they could have been right. They redeemed themselves with this match. So this match saved them. This match honestly saved them.
Charlotte was great. Ronda was a fucking badass. Into the audience.
Yeah. I saw Charlotte Flair grab some poor man's water and throw it in Rousey's face. And the look on that fan's face, go back and look at that fan's reaction. It was priceless, to say the least.
Yeah, they were using the handrails a la Charlotte and Sasha in that Falls Count Anywhere match from 2016, which is another great hidden gem nowadays. The fans are, of course, doing the obligatory "We Want Tables" chants. They're going into the commentary booth. I mean, it's just a freaking brawl. This is a freaking violent women's match. Like,
so you brought up the armbar on the top rope. And that's when I thought the match was going to end. And Ronda Rousey is so impressively athletic. She is doing this armbar, and then she goes into a handstand on the floor to extend it. But this is what I wanted to talk about.
Oh,
we have this very serious match.
Yes. Oh, wait, Pat McAfee? Are we talking about Pat? Yes.
Fucking nowhere says, "Is that the Fiend in the front row?"
Please bring back the Fiend. Like, Pat McAfee manifested. Like, we need the Fiend back. Like, I miss that guy.
This serious SmackDown Women's title match going on. And out of fucking nowhere, Pat McAfee says, "Is that the Fiend in the front row?"
And of course, Michael Cole being
Mr. McMahon was screaming at him on that headset.
Yeah. Michael Cole completely ignored what McAfee said there. It was so great.
Hilarious. And I love Pat for saying that.
Yeah. Natural selection. Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I'm just.
No.
It was justified.
Is that the Fiend in the front row? What? Well, why not? I mean, the kid's dressing up like the Fiend. He wants to see the Fiend, and the motherfucker is fired. You know, like,
McAfee has just become #1 commentator in my
yeah. Oh yeah. You know, you can thank whatever edibles he got from Riddle that night. But anyway, was that too soon? Was that too soon? Too on the nose.
Yes.
Yeah. So
that was the Fiend in the front row.
Yeah. Natural. I'm turning into Michael Cole now. Natural selection on a steel chair in the ring. Charlotte locks on the figure 8. Of course, Ronda Rousey uses the steel chair to break free. She does not quit with the figure 8. And then what gets Ronda Rousey all pissed off is Charlotte saying, "Happy Mother's Day." How nice of you, Charlotte. Yeah, Ronda is a mother. And she's celebrating Mother's Day for the first time. But no, Ronda Rousey just fucking grabs the steel chair and then locks in the armbar. And then Charlotte says she doesn't quit. Ronda's like, I was hoping you'd say that. Wrenches back as far as she can. Kayfabe breaks Charlotte's radius like Russell Crowe and the Nice Guys. And Charlotte, of course, quits. Ronda wins the SmackDown Women's title. And you know what? This injury angle was, completely justified. I mean, WWE has to be very ultra specific about it. You can't just say broken arm. But Charlotte is actually going off to get married with Andrade El Idolo, so that's why they had to write this angle in, and it was a perfect time for Ronda Rousey to win the title. So
this is perfect to kind of spotlight the SmackDown Women's roster for once. There's a lot of underrated workers on there that can benefit with working with Rousey right now.
Absolutely.
And this is the perfect time more than ever. You got your Aaliyahs, you got your Shotzi's, you got your Sasha Banks, you have your Naomi's. Put them in the main event for once.
Yeah, this was very, very physical. I gave this 4.5 stars. For a submission match, an I Quit match, whatever you want to call it, this was great. I mean, I've been wanting an I Quit match on a pay-per-view for a while again. We were supposed to get one at Money in the Bank last year with Bianca and Bayley. All due respect to those two, I don't think it would have been nearly as good as what Ronda and Charlotte pulled off. So,
I give this match 4 stars, but considering that they redeemed themselves from WrestleMania, this was excellent. And this was this was the second best match of the night.
Yeah, this was, honestly, thinking about it more and more, this was my favorite match on this show. I think this is exactly the match that they needed to have. This is the match that they should have had at WrestleMania. But alas, we get it at Backlash instead. I'm cool with it. I'm cool with Ronda winning. So,
and probably this couldn't happen at the best time. This match starts up and the doorbell rings and we have a hot and fresh pizza delivered to us. And this was the perfect time to chow down on some pizza because we have Madcap Moss versus Happy Corbin.
This is known as the pizza match. Oh, my word.
Moss and Corbin had a little falling out. I don't give a rat's ass.
Yeah.
And they had a match. And the match was harmless. It was there.
Fairly harmless, but it's not one that's going to get Madcap Moss over. You know why? Because it's...
Okay.
You know why?
I'm happy for Moss. I'm happy he's getting this push. But he doesn't need the gimmick. He doesn't need the gimmick.
He doesn't need the gimmick, but what do you call Madcap Moss with a pizza in his hand? Cheesy. Like,
anyway, that was the WrestleMania review. I will see you guys later.
No, he's gone. He's gone now. Yeah, I scared him off. But yeah, I mean, this is like Baron Corbin rest hold city here. Madcap Moss is not really getting over. Like, okay, I feel like this is a gimmick that can work with a babyface crowd, but they're treading like doink territory at this point with the fucking suspenders and all that shit. But
I wish Moss the best, but don't expect him to be winning any world titles with this gimmick.
No, don't expect
Drop the gimmick.
Yeah,
drop the gimmick, and he will have a fighting chance.
Yeah,
because I like him. I like Madcap Moss.
Well,
he's a wrestler.
Well, look back at what Baron Corbin was doing as the Lone Wolf. He had a chance to be the WWE champion. And, you know, here he is doing a silly winning the lottery style gimmick. He's Las Vegas, Mr. Las Vegas. So,
damn, has it really almost been a year since bum-ass Corbin?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, he dropped the crown a while back. So, it's been over a year. So, of course. Yeah, and there's some rest holds. It's kind of boring. Madcap Moss is showing some athleticism here and there. I'd like him to be more agile in matches like this and have him get the opportunity to shine that. But Baron Corbin hits a deep 6. Usually, of course, gets a near fall, and of course it does. But Madcap Moss ducks a clothesline and hits a sunset flip and pins him. You never see that. That's like a 19.
I'm gonna quote Brian Zane. Who the hell loses to a sunset flip? Happy Corbin does, apparently.
Happy Corbin. Jinx right there.
I'll give this star and 3/4. It was there. It was harmless.
Yeah. Yeah.
But here's the thing.
I'll match it.
I'll take a harmless match over a boring, terrible match any day.
What do you call Happy Corbin when he's in a match like this?
Boring Corbin?
Harmless Corbin. see the dad jokes, yeah, they're obviously worse, but I know Tomas is gonna get even more aggravated if I keep trying to do a Madcap Moss impression. But okay, 6-man tag team match, the Bloodline, Roman Reigns and the Usos going up against Drew McIntyre and RK Bro, consisting of Randy Orton, a highly over babyface in Providence, Rhode Island, and Matt Riddle, who was called the stoner guy last night where I was watching the show, which again is not inaccurate. You know, there's grasshoppers graphics in the entrance, and I'm like, what the hell was that? There's grasshoppers. He kicks the flip flops. I'm like, I mean, yeah, you can.
Just when you thought the pigeons didn't make any sense.
Oh,
fucking grasshoppers.
They still don't make sense. But yeah, RK Bro, Drew McIntyre.
I'm gonna tell you this now. If you're ever at a party and you see Riddle with a tray of brownies, don't fucking eat one.
Don't take the brownies from Matt Riddle. Don't do it. But you know what this was? This was a highly above average house show main event. Like, my word. Like, just look at this graphic right here in front of you. This looks like the headliner for the house show, the Saturday night's main event coming to your area. It was supposed to be RK Bro versus the Usos in straight up title for title. I'm not going to call it unification because Roman Reigns is the WWE and the Universal Champion, but WWE is too fucking lazy to say "and" in between. He's just one champion right now.
They're too lazy to give him one fucking belt.
Yeah.
Because WWE doesn't even know what they're going to do with this title.
They're going to split him. Of course they're going to split him.
And that, my friends, is what's wrong with WWE nowadays. Even they don't know what they're going to do.
They have no fucking roadmap. It's like the sequel trilogy of Star Wars. There's no roadmap. You know?
That's like if me and you were sitting next to each other at a show saying, oh, I wonder who's going to win between Drew McIntyre and Roman Reigns. And you said, I don't know. And then WWE executive walks up to you and says, I don't fucking know either.
Yeah.
We haven't decided yet.
They have no plan. But here's my thing with this match. So, first of all, my big problem with this match actually is twofold. Number one, I wasn't really a big fan of the big heat segment that Riddle was taking there because it felt like it went on forever. Like, the Usos were working over Riddle so long. Roman Reigns gets in there a few times, you know. He's just, you know.
Didn't I just say this about the Backlash 01 main event? when you have a tag team match as your main event, there's going to be a lot of filler in there. This match was filled with it. No pun intended.
Gratingly long. But then once Matt Riddle tags in Drew McIntyre, then the match got really freaking awesome. Like, these guys were flying all over the place. It was absolute chaos. There's planchas. Drew McIntyre points to the announce table to put Roman through it. Roman hits him with a Uranagi, plants him through the announce table because, of course, Drew introduced the announce table, so he's the one getting put through it. Fittingly enough. Randy Orton, okay, here's another problem I have with the match, just thinking more and more about it, looking at, the play-by-play. So Roman, at one point, holds up both titles to gloat to the crowd. WWE and the Universal Champion. Remember that. He's undisputed, but don't merge them. They're not merged. Drew McIntyre hits him with the Claymore, which should be a big deal. The big challenger hitting the finisher on the undisputed guy, the top guy. And then the fucking play-by-play guy, Michael Cole, who should be watching everything, was like, did he just hit Roman with the Claymore? I knew that he hit Roman with the Claymore, dummy. Come on.
When does Roman Reigns ever take a finisher? He took two in this match.
He took two. Deal. He took an RKO, didn't he?
And they made a bigger deal of the RKO being hit on him when McIntyre is the guy that's going to challenge Reigns for the title. Supposedly.
God, so
supposedly.
Annoying.
We don't fucking know what's going to happen next.
I mean, the crowd was chanting, "This is awesome," because of course it is. The Usos and RK Bro are going at it inside the ring. Riddle and Jey Uso are exchanging super kicks. He was called Main Event Jey Uso, too, to harken back to the very beginning of Roman's reign. But basically, Riddle hits an avalanche RKO on Jey off the top, which was so awesome. Matt Riddle is the man. But within that little time frame there, Roman makes a blind tag, spears Matt Riddle, and pins him. If this match was going on last, why not just have someone pin Roman Reigns and set up the next challenger? Why not?
Or at least the Bloodline didn't need to go over tonight.
No, they absolutely did not. But no, it was just like, okay, Roman Reigns wins. Lol. There you go. I know he's a heel, so it's not as grating as, okay, John Cena wins every single time, but Roman Reigns has got no fucking challengers.
No, he does have challenges.
He does.
Just doesn't want to fucking give him one.
But think about it. Do you really think that right now, at the stage we're in, do you think that Randy Orton and Drew McIntyre are going to be the guys to beat him?
No.
Not
right now.
I mean, exactly. And we were talking about this. I don't want Roman to hold the title till WrestleMania 39 when he faces The Rock. That's going to get boring after a while. I want to see change.
Here's the thing. Last year and the year before, during the Thunderdome, Reigns had almost a new opponent every single month for the Universal title. It was cool to see him fight Jey Uso and Kevin Owens and Bryan Danielson and Edge and Cesaro. But now,
well, when they release half their roster, this is what happens. You could have had Roman Reigns versus freaking Keith Lee. You could have had Roman Reigns versus, you could have had Roman versus Braun Strowman again. I know they did that, right at the beginning of his title reign on an episode of SmackDown, which is kind of a hidden gem, but, you could have easily run that back. Braun is the babyface. Roman is the heel,
They could have.
Yeah.
They straight up could have.
But
and that, my friends, is my issue with WWE right now. They have no fucking clue what they're doing. And it's just, you know what I just said earlier? Boring is worse than bad. They're boring right now.
It is.
Cody Rhodes, Seth Rollins, Lashley, Edge, AJ Styles, Ronda Rousey, Charlotte Flair, Happy Corbin, Randy Orton, Riddle, Roman Reigns, Drew McIntyre can have good matches all day, every day until the cows come home.
Which is exactly what they did.
They don't have consistent and intriguing booking to back that up, then it's boring.
Yeah. Well,
I have nothing to look forward to.
it is consistent in that Roman is the top guy and he beats everybody. Wreck everyone and leave is the slogan on one of my shirts for Roman. But, I mean...
The Friday after WrestleMania, Roman Reigns was confronted by Shinsuke Nakamura. How the fuck did we get to this 6-man tag when it could have been Reigns versus Nakamura?
Would have loved to have seen that match. Would have been great.
WWE changed their mind 58 times from the span of then to a week ago.
Yeah.
And that's not good.
It's annoying as hell. It's annoying as hell. And now we're probably going to waste Drew McIntyre inside the cell, and Drew's not going to be the guy. I mean, Drew should be the guy. I mean, theoretically, other than Roman, Drew has the potential to be the top babyface in this federation here. Like,
if Roman
really
Reigns was truly the guy to hold one world title in WWE, he would be on Raw and SmackDown every week. But he's still just a SmackDown guy.
Mm-hmm.
And that just proves that WWE doesn't know what the fuck they're doing with this title right now.
Yeah. Yeah, they don't. They don't. It's titles. Titles. I don't buy for a second that it's one title right now. Because if you look on WWE.com, again, they don't know what the fuck they're doing. Roman is listed as the Universal Champion and the WWE Champion. Two identical side-by-side pictures of him holding both belts.
That just proved that WWE doesn't even know what they're doing right now.
Miscommunications galore. Hold on. Wait, what? This match was great. I really dug the second half of this match. It got really, really exciting. The crowd was into it. I'm comfortable giving it 4, just because of the wrestling alone.
3.5.
Yeah,
it was a glorified house show.
You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and meet you halfway, 3 3/4. It's only fair. But I had fun with it. I mean, it's a good wrestling pay-per-view, but I mean, thinking about it more and more, they need some more consistency. 7 3/4 maybe. I was thinking about giving it an 8, but I knocked it down a peg.
7.5.
Okay, yeah, that's fair. I feel like, yeah, I definitely like this show more than you did, huh? It's kind of.
I like this show a lot. This was, again, like I said, they oversold when they didn't build up to this. They overworked and undersold.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, which is honestly, look at WrestleMania 31. That was a show that was honestly a horrible build, and it ended up exceeding everybody's expectations, including both of ours being in attendance, and it's one of my top 3 WrestleManias for that reason. So,
but here's the thing: WWE cannot ride on this forever, but they're going to. They're going to. It's just going to be the same old shit for the next 6 months.
Even though they don't deem AEW as competition, they do have legitimate competition. They can still make every fucking mistake in the book. This company is grossing billions of dollars. Y'all hear me? Billions. They can make every mistake they want to, and it doesn't matter. It should matter, but none of it matters.
And I feel like it's only going to get worse because I heard a rumor that these releases are going to be a routine thing every 90 days.
Dexter
every
Lumis.
90 days.
I don't even like Dexter Lumis, but I wish him the best. Like, I'm sure he's going to show up in Impact at some point soon.
Persia Piranha.
Dakota Kai, egregiously. Yeah, Malcolm Bivens. You just got rid of all the Diamond Mine, except for, like, what, the Creed brothers? And
Roderick Strong is saying sayonara.
Yeah, Roderick Strong wants out. So, like, consistency, guys, please. But yeah, speaking of consistency, we will be finishing up our 2003 retrospective with Armageddon later on this month. Talk about shitty pay-per-views, but we're also going to be looking at Double or Nothing, of course, and a company with more consistency. Tomas is going to be very pissed off that CM Punk is going to be the new world champion, but
no, he's not.
He totally is. He totally
no,
is.
He's
That's
not.
what they're building up to.
No,
but
he's not. And we will be looking at Hell in a Cell next month as well.
We sure
will. Which I think is the weekend after Double or Nothing.
It is. It is. Yeah. The summer's a busy time. I mean, June, we got, what, Hell in a Cell? We're starting off the 2004 retros as well with the Royal Rumble. Yeah, it's good. It's going to be fun, my friends. So go ahead and smash that subscribe button, that notification bell if you want to be the first ones in the know whenever the ZNT Wrestling Show puts up a new podcast or whatever. Of course, also I've got movie reviews as well, so hitting that notification bell, you'll get all the latest news on movies, all things entertainment. I've got a big summer lined up. I'm in a show right now currently, so hopefully this content will be thrown out there on a more consistent basis through the summer. I've got Top Gun Maverick in a couple weeks. I've got Lightyear next month, so it's a lot. It's a lot to look forward to, my friends, and I can't wait to do it all with you. Can't wait to do it with my co-host Tomas. It's gonna be a blast. It's gonna be a blast. So yeah,
yes.
Keep loving wrestling, keep loving the movies and all that jazz. We'll see you next time.